Yep, currently that moniker goes to Aiden Blackheart.
Yeah, I still have the DVD. I bought it. It was. I still think it's good. It's a good plug in. Cheap. They hang out with you so much. I would do a cheap plug on the Angel Death Tournament that is on Smart Mark Videos. It's basically my favorite so far. It has no offense to the whole tournament itself, but my favorite moment is still when Scott Patterson add into himself into a match that he wasn't belonging in the first place.
Yeah, that was definitely his first death match and probably his last, but it was definitely funny what I did to him.
Yeah. Basically, you teamed up with him in the first round, then out of nowhere, you decided, screw it.
Yeah, he was sitting in the back when you're talking about the cornbread match. He was sitting in the back, and he was very displeased with that match. So he just looked at me and he was like, "Can I go out there?" And I was like, "Hell, go ahead." He wasn't supposed to win the match, but he did anyway.
Well, play the referee, I guess.
Yeah, the referee or whoever he beat.
If someone was wearing the blue shirt, I forgot who was in it.
I can't remember. Yeah, it was Cornbread. Well, Juicy Bruce, Jeff Hart, and I cannot remember that third guy. Uh, uh, Moonshine Bandit.
Yeah, I think he paid Moonshine.
Yeah. Which, if I'm right, that may have
So,
been Moonshine's first match. Honestly.
Of course, his first match going to be in the death match scene.
Yeah. I don't even know how he honestly got thrown in there. I don't think that was part of the original show, but it was IWA Deep South, so he got thrown in there.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of IWA Deep South, how did you get into this? I know we talked about this before on Messenger, but I want to say it in person, see how people understand how you got your start.
Well, how I got into IWA Deep South originally, my first opportunity there was Carnage Cup 5. I actually rented the wrestling ring for the Carnage Cup 5. And originally I was promised, not by the promoter, but somebody else, that he'd get me a match on the show. So, as you know, Talon, not former, current founding father of the new religion, me and him was supposed to have had a one-on-one match. But Kevin said he didn't have the time for the show to put us on there. So we ended up getting paid extra just to sit in the crowd. And then about a year or so later, I had another opportunity come up with Kevin at Carnage Cup 6, but I ended up turning him down to wrestle the Nightmare Ted Allen at Wrestle Birmingham. So, then comes about another year after that, it was Southern Discomfort when I finally debuted for IWA Deep South against Phil Macchio, Cornerstone, and Dusty McWilliams.
Mm. I think let's watch your stuff over from your YouTube page. Chief plug there again. I've been hanging out with you so much, Rare. I'm measuring keep doing cheap plugs.
Oh yeah, that's me. I'm king of the cheap plugs, and talking about cheap plugs, I am the new voice of Venom Championship Wrestling. Hashtag Venom Championship Wrestling.
Oh. So, you know how I am with your career. I've been watching your stuff. We've been started talking when the interview with Jay and Scott for the first time, mentioning about the new religion. How do you summarize what is new religion for people, outside of Bama to describe new religion?
New religion, like originally, the concept was, we wanted to form a tag team in Alabama because at the time, tag teams just didn't seem to be that popular in the area. Like, you'd go to shows and you'd just see one-on-one matches all the time. So we decided to form the new religion, me and Talon. And over the years, it seems to have got darker. And then controversy would always follow the new religion. So to be part of the New Religion, you almost had to have a controversial type of character or aura around yourself. And when it comes to the new leader, J Impact, he fit right in on that.
Mhm. I see. I remember when I interviewed the guys explaining how the things work with New Religion, and it's very common between how basically it's like a church in a way at first.
Yeah, a lot of people have always considered it definitely maybe a cult style following, especially whenever after the Ubermenschen went away, which the Ubermenschen was a group in LXW. The New Religion was formed before that, but the New Religion kind of went away, and then it came back. And when it came back, I was still, of course, the leader, but I had way more of a darker character, and we brought in the whole, Kool-Aid gimmick where we would force feed people the Kool-Aid, and they would turn. And, I think the first person that we did that to was Prophet. And, Prophet was against us at the time, but we force-fed him the Kool-Aid, and he turned into New Religion. Storm turned into New Religion, and, we definitely had a more gothic cult vibe back then.
Mm. There's a lot of people that used to be in New Religion. It's like a huge web, it seems like.
Yeah. The New Religions had a lot of talent, so much talent in there, and some of them you even forget that they were in there. We just did a new video today for Birmingham Hardcore Wrestling, and if you don't know him, Melvin, he used to go by Black America. I currently don't know what he wrestles by now, but a lot of people forget that he was in the New Religion, and his character was basically, we took it into Birmingham, and his character was the black man that was always held down, and that was the whole point of the name Black America. And, we voted his character to be, the pissed off black guy that didn't get his opportunities, and we voted just to put it right there in everybody's faces and, make that more controversial.
Mm-hmm. There's a very interesting, also seeing your career and also in the Carnage Cup scene was with your feud with Spider Woodrow. That was always a crazy rivalry you have between Spider. You got a huge list of other opponents that that are up there.
Yeah, me and Spider, sometimes I can honestly say if there wasn't a Spider Boudreaux, John Rare's whole career would not be the same because at Carnage Cup 7, when I stabbed him, obviously we became household names at that point because of that spot. And, that's been almost... Next year will be... I can't even remember when that happened. It's been a long time ago, I know that. 2011, I believe. So I think that's almost been 10 years ago since I stabbed him. And, through IWA Deep South and Carnage Cup, I got to wrestle some legends like Madman Pondo and beat Madman Pondo. And definitely had a lot of opportunities come through Deep South and the New Religion.
Also, I showed some of my videos to some of your matches to my friends, and some of them are a huge fan of your work, John. Very interesting. He's also a deathmatch wrestler, former deathmatch wrestler. He's always interested in your work. He's always was trying to see what's next in your what's next to top that.
Yeah. Now that I've been in the business for a long time, I did my first backyard match in 2000. So, that's going on, this is 2020, so that was over 20 years ago when I did my first backyard match. And, I've done pro for, about roughly 13 years, I think. And now, honestly, I say less is more. I always say that now. Because I'm definitely not going out there doing all the crazy bumps anymore, because now I'm done got old and I'm hurting too damn much. But, what's next in my career, I ain't even supposed to have been there technically because I retired. Everybody knows that. And this will be the first time I've ever told this story, actually, about why I did another match. Originally on that show, what was that show? Lethal Leap Year, it was supposed to have been Peter Be Beautiful versus Christian Cross. And Christian Cross no-showed the show. He didn't show up. He didn't call. I don't know what all happened there, but that left Peter B without an opponent. And he came all the way down from Detroit, I believe. He had a big-ass drive, I believe. So he was there with no opponent, and obviously, deathmatch worker like me just sitting in the back. Kevin asked me originally to do the match, and I was like, nah, man, I'm retired, thank you, blah, blah, blah. But then it actually I started feeling bad because Peter drove all that way to do a damn match. Kevin's got to pay the man, but now he don't have an opponent, so I was just like, you know what, screw it, I'll go out there, make Peter look beautiful, do a brutal match and put the guy over, and that's what I did. But what makes me want to go on is, if you've got to see the end of that match, Cody McCauley comes out, the Black Sheep, and he attacks me while I'm already blinded and down, and he beats the hell out of me again. So now I've had to add the Black Sheep Cody McCauley to my list.
Mm-hmm. I think that's interesting thing that you're retired, but you found a way to kind of sneak in.
Yeah, like, I'm telling you, that night I was 100% retired. I was not going to do the match. But, I did it for the fans. I did it for Peter, and I definitely did it for Kevin to help him out. And then, of course, I ended up enjoying the match anyway. And plus, I got the DVD cover available on smartmarkvideo.com.
I see what you did there.
But before I retired, now this is another truth. Like, when I got the Angel of Death tournament in the mail and I watched it, like, I was sitting there, fevering over it. I was like, man, I wish I could have got to wrestle this guy. I wish I could have got to wrestle this guy. And now that I'm somewhat back in the game, I can open that book again and hopefully get some of these matches in before I retire again.
What, you kind of like semi-retire, or like bullet bomb in a way, or?
Yeah, I'm definitely like, I'm not taking bookings. I do have a few matches that I'm willing to work with certain people, but like, if certain people just call me up and want me to come to a show and it's against somebody that's definitely not on my list, I'm not taking the booking.
Okay. I mean, like a short list, long list?
It's a pretty short list, really. Cody McCauley obviously was on it, so I'm going to get to knock him off that list in July for the IWA Underground show. Definitely will wrestle Jeff Hart, the $10 and $5 heavyweight champion. Then there's Little Donnie. Like, I've got to get in there a few times with Little Donnie, but never one-on-one, so I really want that one-on-one match with Little Donnie. Then there's also, I always forget this guy's name, and I was actually a fan of him. Now I'm not going to be able to think of his name. There's another guy on the list. I just can't think of his damn name right now. He was on the Angel of Death tournament. He wrestled Cody McCauley first round. But I'm lost for his name right now. Are we frozen there? Well, currently, I believe Brook's feed has frozen. I've lost video and audio to her. If you can hear me, Brooke, you have, let's see, you have lost the session. Huh. I'm still alive, so currently I'm waiting for Brooke to come back and we can finish this interview. Alrighty.
Wi-Fi being stupid.
Yeah, I noticed, like I was talking, I noticed your screen froze. And then it just went away.
Yeah. So, back we were talking about your list of names. You're talking about Little Donnie, you know.
Let's see. Yeah, Little Donnie, Jeff Hart. I'm gonna get to mark off Cody McCauley. I cannot remember the other guy's name, and it's driving me nuts because I definitely know him. He wrestled at the Angel of Death tournament, and I became a fan of him that night, but I just cannot think of his name, and it's driving me nuts. I'm getting old, I'm forgetful. And then I can't hear either, so, good Lord.
I always want to see, I know you faced Jay before, but I always want to see, like, another, like, a one-on-one match now, because since Jay's been, you know, been in a career that more been in this business a lot longer now since the last time you faced off with him.
Yeah, the last time I faced off with Jay Impact one-on-one was, honestly, it was probably 2011 or 2012. It's been a long time since me and him had a one-on-one match. Now, I've always liked Jay. Like, in that ACW match, it was like a 7-man TLC match. I purposely put him over in that match, even, you know, years ago, because I definitely seen the talent in him. I was a fan. I'm a fan of Jay Impact. I always have been. I liked him. So I put him over in that match, and, you know, everybody was kind of like, why'd you put him over? I just liked him. And I still do. You know, he's an awesome character.
Yeah. Speaking of this, I showed my friends my favorite thing you watched. That is the softcore match that you had teaming up with facing Hermit Crab.
Yeah, the Hermit Crab from, you know, Shikara was definitely a wild match. A lot of people, shit on the softcore cups. But honestly, the reason the softcore cups happened was because of the Alabama Athletic Commission came in. And, you know, we couldn't do death matches here in Alabama no more. So Kevin tried to take a little bit of a different approach and do a softcore cup, which he was just trying to do a whole different gimmick. And, you know, the Deep South Loyal definitely did not enjoy it. It was good enough to spawn a second tournament, but after that, it kind of went away. In which Softcore Cup 2 obviously was a little bit more hardcore because I was in it, and I wasn't putting up with that shit.
Yeah. So Derek Thompson says, have no fear, Punk is here.
Good old Derek. You know, Derek, Punk Rock Kid, that's his shoot name, or his worker name. He was going to be in a Carnage Cup that got canceled. You know, Carnage Cup 12 originally was going to happen. I talked to Kevin about putting him in a match with me. And you can also look that up, that whole story up on the New Religion Punk Rock Edition, available on the John Rare channel. But yeah, Punk Rock, and hopefully Punk Rock will be meeting up with me soon, because we are also shooting the 10 Mile Cemetery 2, which has been advertised for like 6 months. We're still shooting it, but I'm hoping that it's going to be a kick-ass movie. It's going to be one of my longest movies I've ever done. So that name again is 10 Mile Cemetery 2.
Yeah, and Kid said plug and plug.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Plug. I love plugging my channel as much as I can. Which, it worked out very beneficial for me last month, because last month I had more views than I've ever had on my YouTube channel ever. I think we got up to, I think it was like almost 20,000, which was like 1/3 of the views my channel has ever had since its lifetime. So, it did damn good last month.
Oh, that's good. Like, I want to know how, I never really brought up the whole that match too, to know that everyone hated New Religion that night.
Well, one reason everybody hated the New Religion that night was just because, honestly, it was because Punk Rock Kid and White Lightning, you know, Colt Keegan, they walked in the building with a damn cooler of beer, and they were just constantly drinking, stirring up shit. Kevin egged it on, of course, and you know, they pissed a lot of people off that night. Definitely almost got their ass kicked, and I'm just sitting back, kind of watching it, smiling, enjoying my brothers.
Enjoying your brother's misery.
Well, yeah, that's what I do. I was sitting there poking everybody with the stick, egging it on. Punk Rock said this, Colt said this.
But speaking of, you talking about earlier about Talon. Listen, the founding fathers, you know that you were supposed to have another match against Talon, but that got canceled before.
Yep. I can't remember exactly why that show got canceled. I want to say honestly, I think the promoter, he drives a truck, so he was out of state, but he wasn't going to be able to make it back into state before that for that show, so he had to pull the plug on it. But yeah, me and Talon, we was going to wrestle one last time, which we've wrestled countless of times, and he's only defeated me that one time, which that match is also available on my channel. But yeah, me and Talon, we have a rich history for years. Like, we sucked wrestling each other in backyard forever, and we definitely clicked in the ring. But he only beat me that one time. I enjoyed beating his Irish ass. Hey, my wife brought me a McFlurry.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Who doesn't love a McFlurry?
Pretty damn good.
At least this time you got a McDonald's, I got a working ice cream machine.
Yeah, it is very unusual for the ice cream machine to be working.
I'm trying to figure out what else is going. Cause figuring out all these members that you have gone and come again with New Religion and Intermission, because the Intermission was also a crazy idea.
Yeah, we've had plenty of members come. Like currently, I couldn't even tell you the members that are in it right now, because once I handed it over to Colt, Scott, and Jay, I gave them the right to add whoever the hell they wanted. I basically just forfeited my right to do anything with it. I just put my trust in them, and I know they added like Bubba Love or Bubba Duke, which was a big old boy.
Mm-hmm.
I actually I was his manager one time in Carrollton, Georgia. So I mean, I know the guy. Then they added another guy named Talon, which was funny because that's the second guy to be named Talon to get in the group. But like currently, right now, I can't honestly tell you who's all in the New Religion. All I know is once you're in, you're never really out.
Yeah. I think it's interesting how it's a big thing in the South, like upper part of Alabama, but not enough knowing it a little bit in the South, in a way.
Yeah, we've pretty much stayed Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. I'm not sure if we've ever really penetrated Florida yet, but we've definitely stayed in this region, in this area.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk about your Carnage Cup stuff. What's your you did the backyard wrestling, and you ever thought that we did the backyard would be known as this huge icon in the Deep South deathmatch scene? You never imagined that?
No, I never imagined it, because like being on the backyard scene here in Alabama, I was actually kind of against the indie scene for wrestling, period. I didn't like it. I went to like a Wrestle Birmingham show in, I think it's technically Leeds, Alabama, at the Zamora Shrine Temple. We went and watched it with like my wife, Blake Allison, two other people went. I can't remember. Maybe Big James and Lance, maybe. I'm not sure who all went to that, but I sat there and watched it, and I was just like so disappointed in it. I was like, the indie scene here sucks. So we started doing the backyard, and we got huge in the backyard. We actually had Real TV come out and film us one time, and that was when we were at our biggest. And we were putting on these hellacious bloody matches. I was actually going to do a review on one of my matches against Big James Mayhem. I just haven't had the time to put it together yet. But my wife was actually disappointed in me whenever I kind of went pro. She said I sold out when I went to pro, because I said I was never going to go pro, because I hated the scene technically.
Mhm. So what is your idea was gone? You did that in the backyard and did it more regular type of style. Then you went to death matches, or you went straight into death matches.
My first, well, no, when I first started getting in the scene here in Alabama, I was actually doing regular matches because I was doing matches with like Joe Hogan, Johnny Rage, Action Mike Jackson. Also, I was doing matches with some of my other backyard friends in pro matches like Phil Payne. So yeah, when I got into it originally, I was just doing regular matches, and then eventually I got that hookup with Kevin at IWA Deep South, and my first match there was a death match. And you know, kind of after that, I fell in love with the Deep South because of that reason, because I already had the experience of doing all the crazy gimmicks and everything. So mixing myself with IWA Deep South was just a match made in heaven.
I guess because you did, because I know I seen few of cause you did, my turn plugging, you did your John Rare Backyard Beginnings, Backyard Adventures YouTube page to basically record almost all your backyard videos.
Yeah, there's only a select few backyard wrestling videos that are not uploaded to there, which it's like a slim few. But there is literally hundreds of videos, and I'm still uploading. I'm trying to upload more daily. It's just a time issue. I probably got 50 plus videos still to upload on the backyard channel. And while I'm talking about that, I'm gonna go ahead and break the news on this. This is one of my announcements. Is coming this summer, knowing that everybody's been on this backyard kick. The BWA Bama Wrestling Backyard Wrestling Alabama is going to come back, and we're going to put on Backyard Wrestling Mania 9, the Mud Show, sometime in August, I would say. And it will be... Okay, wait a minute. I want to stop this right now. I just got a message from the guy that I couldn't remember his damn name. His name was Jerry Nelms. I could not remember his name. Jerry Nelms. He was the one that I wanted to wrestle. I just couldn't think of his damn name. But yeah, Jerry Nelms. That's him. He's on my list too. But yeah, Backyard Wrestling Mania 9, the Mud Show, it will be recorded. Now, this ain't going to be like all these other shows that are doing backyard stuff and they're bringing all the pros in. This is a backyard show where I'm bringing in backyard wrestlers. So it's going to be slightly different.
So are you bringing like some of your former people who used to work in backyard? I know you used to run backyard wrestling before. Are you bringing some of them or some other random backyarders?
Yeah, I'm gonna get some former backyard friends and hopefully some new ones. And we've got one bigger name that we are going to bring out. I'm keeping that name silent until I do the promo video for it. But there's going to be a few names there that people know, and then a bunch of backyard shit.
I guess basically backyard wrestling is kind of having a huge boom now because the whole quarantine in a way.
I guess so. I don't know why everybody's like going crazy for it now, because like I swear nobody talked about it 20 years ago whenever I was doing the shit.
I think backyard was still kind of new at that point as well when it started back in the early 2000s.
I would probably say yes, because everybody knew like the Hardys did it. A lot of pro people did backyard. I don't care what people say. And when we did backyard at Bama, I keep saying Bama Wrestling Alliance, but it was Backyard Wrestling Alabama. We had some really good names come through that organization that actually went pro. So, that was like almost like a damn training facility for Alabama to get wrestlers to go pro.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting how it is. Like, I'm surprised. I'm a big fan of wrestling. I was surprised I didn't with that step of having friends to do that kind of thing. It's probably a good thing in a way, seeing how how crazy some people go all out for backyard wrestling?
Yeah, like when we did it, it started with just a few of us, like me, Jason Norris, Mike Norris, Blake Allison, and Big James Mayhem. Which, if you don't know Big James Mayhem, he's got lots of videos on my channel. But it was just a few of us that started out, and it just grew like crazy. And like when we were growing, some of us was really damn talented. So I think Big James Mayhem was like the first person to get picked out of all of us to kind of go pro. But me and Talon ended up going through the training and all that shit first. And then, like I've said before, I used to train for pro wrestling on like Friday and Saturday, and we'd be doing backyard shows on Sunday.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Like, I've been watching some of your stuff again, watching your backyard stuff. I still want to know about the dog.
That was the stupidest damn gimmick of all time. Like, we had big ass shows, and we had so many gimmicks, and there was a damn. I don't even know how it was built or how it started, but I know I want to say Mac Daddy Matt was bitten by a vampire, so he turned into a dog or a werewolf, whatever the hell it was, and then we just started this whole organization called PETA, and it was called Pets Taking Action. So anytime a random dog would come around, we would do a voiceover with it, or like the dead chipmunk. It was just stupid shit.
I asked were you they were drunk or high or something.
Half the time drunk, yes. A few of them high.
I remember talking about I was watching other stuff from IW Deep South. We see the weird gimmicks they have seen, like Red Solo Cup, Batista Bear, when I first saw Batista Bear, alright, I'm sold.
Yeah, Batista Bear, I don't know where the hell they come up with that gimmick at, but it was entertaining. The damn kids loved it. And then, like, trust me, there's still, like, if you've not watched LXW yet, which is available on smartmarkvideo.com, LXW, there was so many. There was so many horrible gimmicks that came through that one, like the I can't even remember. It's something zombie, like not White Zombie, but there was a zombie gimmick that Christian Hames played in LXW that was so weird. Like he would douse himself with baby powder right before he came out, so when he was walking, he always had this white like cloud following him from the baby powder. LXW is definitely worth the watch if you want to go and order it.
Yeah. Oh, like Scott said, I enjoyed the Batista Bear, says Pat Scott.
Oh, good old Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty and the Bear was always good. I just wish Scott could have hung with Batista Bear a little better.
Also, I nearly watched the moment when the kendo stick spot in the first round with that. How you laughed your butt off with the kendo stick break.
Oh yeah, like when it broke, I don't even think I don't think he realized it broke. Someone messing with you?
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, he snapped it on me, and that was funny because he was like, "It wasn't supposed to break." I think he handmade that tool, and then it just broke. Good times. I laughed.
Oh, right. Scott said that's not fair. When I saw Batista Bear, I was still refereeing. It was still.
I don't think I ever got to do anything with Batista Bear. Honestly, I don't think I ever got in there with him. Which, obviously multiple people played Batista Bear under the costume, and you could tell the difference in them, honestly. But the Batista Bear gimmick was always good. I want to say the gimmick itself came from North Carolina or South Carolina. I'm not sure I'm not sure who runs that gimmick. Honestly, I don't even know if they even do it anymore. I haven't heard about it lately.
John said, by the spore of war, it broke on John's thigh of steel.
Yes, it did. And I loved it. Like even in our match, me and him was in the corner, and like when Travis was in the corner, we were talking about double teaming him and whatever. So I sent Scott first, and I didn't even tell him that I was going to attack him from behind. And like the minute he started running, I attacked him. And he's just like, "What the fuck?" Can't trust Rare.
Hey, well, technically that's what you get having your first death match against John Rare.
Yeah.
I told Scott while I was there about his bringing his magic and seeing that he was here, saying like basically he almost got called out afterwards and because of about that spot. Like, hey, you can't blame him. Was there?
Yeah, we did something cool that night. You know, like you knew.
Then you're blasting me with that bat fork.
Yep, that was it.
Because
Because I didn't even say anything to him. I was just like, okay, we're going to double team him. You go first. And the minute he turned around, I attacked him from behind. Which that's what I've always. I always do that.
That's what happens when when your first death match is with John Rare. You better watch your back, I guess.
Well, see, I was really bad about doing shit like that in the backyard as well. Like, I would lead my group into like a little bit of a war with other people, and then once shit started going down, I'd sneak out and like leave them out there. I'm a bad person.
You enjoy doing bad things.
Even to my friends.
Scott said, still have the scars. First, last, only.
Yeah, I got some, in my last match, I got a few good new scars from Peter B. Trust me, once you get these scars, they're stories for life.
I think it's very interesting how the story of this worked out with being huge as it is with death matches kind of being popular or not. It's like a 50-50.
In the South, it's definitely 50-50 because, I don't know, like, so many people love it, but then again, so many people hate it. And then you got the same people that love it, but then they want to talk shit about it. It's, you know, up north, you got like GCW, CZW, some of the bigger deathmatch organizations, and, you know, they run full steam, and they're really good. But you got like Deep South, you know, down here, and a lot of people shit on it more than anything. And then, of course, you know, you up north, you also have Mid-South, IWA Mid-South. It comes and goes. But I think deathmatch, you know, in entirety is way more popular up north. And then I don't even know, you know, down here, you can't do it in Alabama no more. We got banned, so we got to go to Georgia or Tennessee. And, you know, it's off and on down here.
Yeah. I know there's some down here in Florida, but it's all the way down in the central Florida area. Not up here. There's a little shaming a little bit.
Well, see,
I wanted to see a death match in person.
Well, the next IWA show, you know, it's a closed location. It's definitely going to be worth the watch on DVD. And it'll be kick-ass. But, you know, if the commission wouldn't have came around, Alabama probably would have been a little bit more healthier when it comes to death matches. Because, like, me and Michael Frog Ray, we started Birmingham Hardcore Wrestling, which all the matches are available on the John Rare YouTube channel. But, we started doing that show to try to compete a little bit with IWA Deep South. And we only got 2 shows in before the commission came in and, you know, kind of put the hardcore and death matches out of what the hell? Okay, whatever. I heard a weird ding on
The
my end.
commission.
Do what?
Yeah. He was talking about the commission, saying, I heard he was like, we're not a huge fan of it before.
Well, no, I'm still not a fan of the commission because they really don't go to shows. All they do, they want your money. That's all they really want. They say, they're out there making sure everybody's safe and everybody's licensed and everything. Anybody can go get a license. So it's not like they're really doing anything. You don't have to pass a physical. All you have to do is give them some money and you get a license. That's all it is. It's money.
I'm really intrigued about how comparing death matches and regular, like my friend, one of my friends, is a huge fan of CZW, and basically he likes to go to the shows and make weapons, fans who make the weapons. What's the most craziest thing a fan ever did, and fans bring the weapons match?
In Deep South, I've seen. I think the craziest thing I've actually personally ever seen, and then I took it, was also the porcupine quill board. I took that at Carnage Cup 11. But I've seen all kinds of random shit like, razor dildos and shit like that. But yeah, I've seen some weird ass weapons, and I've seen like nailed. For some reason, the fans love dildos. They like putting stuff on dildos. So those are always the weirdest ones.
I know that the one weirdest one we watched recently was the Saul match, the 2 out of 3 Saul's match. How Spina Boudreaux brought in real tarantulas.
Yes, there was a few real spiders, which originally Kevin was going to try to get a like baby alligator for that match, and we were going to work a baby alligator into the match, but he couldn't get it, so it didn't happen. But the fans didn't get the alligator spot.
Yeah, I saw that. I was good about the Spina Boudreaux with the tarantula spot because was one still in your hair during during the ending of the match?
Yeah, it stayed in my hair for probably about 2 minutes. Never knew about it until we did the go home spot, and then the ref seen it, so he had to hurry up and get it out too. And which I honestly thought one of them bit me, but hell, when you're out there wrestling on glass and all that kind of stuff, are you going to really notice the difference with a spider bite?
Yeah, I haven't noticed that when I rewatched it because already the whole area is full with glass already, so it's hard to tell if that was in the cause of filling.
Yeah, that was Carnage Cup 11. Currently, that was the last Carnage Cup to take place. And I'm definitely pushing harder than ever to get Carnage Cup 12 to happen. But as of right now, yes, that was the last Carnage Cup. And if I'm correct, Spina Boudreaux still hasn't wrestled since that show. That's when he defeated me in the Final Saw. Or that was the name of the match, Final Saw. But, that... And honestly, that could have, if that would have been my last match, I would have enjoyed it that way too. But I keep coming back.
It's like Shawn Michaels, because he said he can't fight cold turkey.
It's hard, trust me. Like I'm telling you, I was done. Like I said, Kevin asked me to wrestle Peter that night, and originally I turned it down. And I actually, talked with my wife about it before I ever committed to doing the match. But yeah, it's hard to get out of wrestling. But I'm gonna try to knock a few names off my list again, and then we'll try it again.
And so then just the Charger. That was the Charger. Maybe having his own spot as his own. So I want to last few stuff before we have 30 more minutes left. What do you think is your favorite match that you have so far that you've done
I'd say my
I know that's a hard question.
yeah. There's so many of them. Like when it comes to like the Saw matches, I always say my Saw 3 match was my favorite out of them matches. Oh, and honestly, that one always comes up. Saw 3, and yet again, if Saw 3 would have been the final Saw, I'd have been happy with that too. Like I thought the story that we told in Saw 3, which is Carnage Cup 9, was phenomenal. But there was
Is that the where you? That's the one you stab him with the box cutter, right?
no, that was 7, or that was Saw 1. Saw 3 was the one where we came off of the roof through the tables to the floor.
Alright, that one.
But there was this one time, and I don't have this match uploaded to my channel yet. I need to do it. But it was like me, Phil Macchio, Prophet, Talon, and Kilo Green. It was at a $10 wrestling show, and it was all 5 of us in a I want to say it was a ladder match, maybe it was a TLC match, but it was for the LXW title. I consider that one of my most hyped matches because like the crowd was so into it that night. Like it felt different. I need to upload that video because that match was like one of my favorites too. But like,
are you going to review it, or are you just going to go?
yeah, I'll review it. I just gotta get to it. Like I'm behind really bad on doing some reviews with the whole lockdown thing or the shutdown, whatever the hell it's called. You know, I haven't been able to do any of the haunted or nots because you're not supposed to be driving around unless it's essential. But yeah, I gotta get it because, like I said, I'm supposed to be doing that backyard review with Big James Mayhem too, and I ain't done that yet. I did upload the Birmingham Hardcore Wrestling music video today, though.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's just basically it's a music video that shows the highlights for Massacre on Morris Avenue and the second one, whatever the hell the name of that one was.
Yeah. I really, besides the cat, like, I'm a huge fan of factions, and if you have your favorite new religion stuff again, right now I know the new religion's on break again, but if there's another faction you want to think of, have you seen any more new factions that caught your eye in any of them? Have you seen anything? Or interested?
You know, I guess right now, the biggest group that I wrestle around now is probably the Green World Order. But, you know, they're kind of they're my rivals because they were led by Boris Dookie. So, you know, that's the only...
What? Yeah, Boris Dookie. That's the weirdest name I ever heard.
Yeah, that character is definitely... it's overboard, I'll tell you that. But you know what? The character itself, he gets heat, he gets publicity, so, you know, it works for him. And then, you know, everybody the Green World Order is a weird thing about the NWO, so, you know, it works. It draws publicity, it does its job.
I know they were talking about Red Solo Cup once, and that was an interesting gimmick. Red Solo Cup, Mikey, apeshit. Basically, the dude wearing a gorilla costume.
Yeah, there's all kinds of weird. Currently, I think Mikey's still part of Green World Order. So is, I guess, apeshit is too. Red Solo Cup, he wrestled at the Shoot Style Baby tournament, but he didn't last too long against Phil Macchio. And I don't say it enough, but Phil Macchio is a hell of a worker. You know, I wish people would put him over more as a character and as a guy. I love that dude.
Yeah. How do you feel that that's coming kind of back in a way? That kind of straight shoot baby wrestling.
You know, it was another gimmick Deep South kind of went, because some people say strong style, and then people say shoot on them, and that means you're attacking them for real and all that. So then Kevin just came up with that shoot style, baby, shoot style, and it just catched on so much. Not down here, it catched on every damn where. People started saying the shit everywhere. So that was the whole birth of that, and that's where we got the shoot style baby tournament at, in which Akira won that, and that was a damn good. It was a damn good show. I'm on commentary for I think that whole show, so it is available on smartmarkvideo.com. Shoot style baby tournament.
What is that, the 10th time?
Maybe.
I think that's what next time we ever do this again, this is basically have a clicker of how many times John Rare does a cheap plug.
Well, okay, this one won't be cheap, I promise. If you want to hear a good band that you may not have heard before, Last Ones Alive. Look them up on YouTube. Last Ones Alive.
I might look that up. This sounds like a cool band. It's like a rock band, metal band.
Rock. Yeah, it's a rock band. They're out of Maine. If they still live in Maine, they're out of Maine. They're the ones that did the intros at Carnage Cup 11. They were the band for that.
Okay. That'd be cool to might listen to later on.
Good people.
Speaking what do you think describes you as a wrestler? What do you think would be your main focus on being a professional wrestler? Is your ring work, your promo skills, and basically draw a crowd, basically? So that's basically how promos are. So do you think promos should be used more, or just focus on the wrestling?
Oh, you got to focus on the wrestling, honestly, because Randy Orton could go out there and not say nothing, but he puts on a, what they say, clinic. If you put on a story in the ring, you shouldn't have to say anything, because your actions in the ring can be your words. So it does help to be able to cut a good promo, but especially a good heel, you should be able to tell your story in the ring without saying a word.
I think you prefer being a bad dude. Would you prefer more being? I think you mostly were a bad guy the entire time.
Yeah,
So I guess you never.
I've pretty much always been a heel. Like when I did the I think the gimmick was like the American one, John Rare. I was obviously a good guy because I'd wear the American tights and come out with the American flag, and I'd give the thumbs up and everything. But it wasn't me. People loved it, but it just wasn't me. And yeah, it didn't last too long.
Because you're more comfortable as being who really you were, basically as being a hole.
Yes.
In a way.
Yes, I've always been a bad guy. Even in the backyard, I was kind of a. Yes, I'm live right now, Brandon. I'm getting live, stuff come up on my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always been a bad guy. Like in the backyard, I was pretty much a bad guy all the time. There's just random few times I've ever been good.
Well, there's a lot of trying to figure out how to explain how some of your work is very interesting in some way. How you Uber mentioned, I see you're with Otis, you say he's like a teddy bear in a way of Otis from the Uber mention.
Yeah, Otis was, he was supposed to have been the ultimate creation for the Ubermenschen, but he wasn't all there in the head. Pretty much like White Lightning. Brandon. He drunk. He was drinking. Half the time when he showed up to shows, he was wasted. So, I'm just talking shit because he's sending stuff to my phone. But, yeah, Otis was a tough son of a bitch. And, in the Ubermenschen, I was obviously the littlest guy, so I surrounded myself with all these big creations like Otis, Death Row, Jason Jr., And, Jason Jr., he's beat the shit out of me so many times. And I don't know if you know this yet or not, but Jason Jr., that gimmick actually came from the backyard. And I set Jason Jr. on fire before in the backyard in an Inferno match.
I wonder how that turned out.
It was fun.
I think you see, it was more crazy. Your backyard careers, those crazy shenanigans happened, or was your hardcore matches?
Like my hardcore and death matches that I've done in my pro, definitely has more notoriety because my backyard stuff was pretty much just kept under the rug. We didn't put it out on YouTube or anything like that till now. So a lot of people have never seen my backyard stuff. It was just random in 2000 and when was it? 2007 when we got noticed in the backyard, and that's when we started training.
Yeah, but so who did train you? I didn't ask you that one. Is it someone big or was it a random wrestling school?
It was a random place in I think it's Coleman, Alabama, but it was called the Mud Tavern. I don't know what the initials for the organization was, but they called it the Mud Tavern, which Terry Teague was the first one to call us up. So it was like me, Talon, Big James Mayhem, and one of my friends, Adam. We all went up there with my wife and Shady Jane. We went up there. We trained for a day. Didn't like it really because they beat the shit out of us, but we really didn't enjoy it. So we went back to the backyard for a little bit longer. Then we met up with Scott Adams, and we trained with Will Owens one day. We've had off and on sessions with different people, but then that's kind of when I got noticed with Mike Jackson. So I started doing shows with Jackson and pretty much just training as I went.
Mm-hmm. I guess what did you expect your career being this long? 20 years and backyard, another 15.
Trust me, I never thought it would be this long because honestly, I never thought I was going to go pro, and hell, when I broke my leg and my hip, the doctor said I wasn't ever going to wrestle again. So at that point, I thought it was pretty much over anyway. But I ended up taking I took the booking for Carnage Cup 8 while I was still on crutches. So, that shows that, even though I was down, I still had the desire and everything I wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm. Of course. And then the Carnage Cups, what was, I think, seeing Carnage Cups is very interesting compared to what they have in CZW with the King of Death matches or something like that, or almost similar but different.
Yeah,
that's more big named.
Yeah, they bring in a lot of the more big names. That's combat zone wrestling. They bring in more of the big names. They do Tournament of Death, but now you got Game Changer Wrestling, which right now they're the kings of it. And they bring in international stars, so they own the deathmatch scene right now, and it's probably going to stay that way because what they do is the best, and right now nobody else can compete with it.
I still want to see it. Really want to see a deathmatch live. This was posting my goal of 2020 was to see a deathmatch live in person because I did see yours in person. I really want to go see it, but because of personal reasons, I didn't get to go.
Yeah, seeing them live are completely different because I watched plenty of them on DVD before I ever went to my first one, and which my first one that I ever went to live was Carnage Cup 5. That's the one I rented the ring to, and we were supposed to have been on it, but I ended up getting paid to sit in the front row and watch, and I enjoyed it and I loved it that night because at the time, this was another story, was Thumbtack Jack from Germany was on that show. I had the character that I used in the backyard called Thumbtack Jack. I didn't know there was a real Thumbtack Jack out there. So, I ended up changing my character's name. But, after that, I really enjoyed that show. Me and Thumbtack Jack talked in the back. I talked with, like, Danny Havoc, Nick Gage. Got to hang in the back a little bit that night, talked to a bunch of the bigger name guys. And honestly, like, back then, I never thought I was going to do death matches the way it turned out.
I think there's a lot of crazy spots that you did, like the porcupine spot, your head first, and razor wire.
Yeah, I always say this about the face first and the razor wire. Like, almost everybody don't mess with the razor wire. You barely have anyone that'll touch the razor wire. And my mindset with the razor wire is I always want to go overboard with it, and because if anything, when they talk about me, they're gonna be like, he did the razor wire. He wasn't scared of it. I cut a piece of my damn finger off with the razor wire when I went into it face first. But, I've never been scared to do the razor wire. Now, in that certain match, I was slightly intoxicated. I don't remember most of it, so that was drunk talking.
So basically you wrestled drunk?
Yeah.
You wrestled drunk?
Yeah, we did in that. Like, I honestly don't remember much of that. And, like, a funny story with, like, Brandon, Colt, White Lightning, is when we were training, when we were training him, we didn't have access to a ring all the time. So we literally went to Moody Ballpark, put some, like, small cushions down on the ground, and we were training in a park on, like, cushions.
Well, that's one way to start.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, if you want to do it, you'll find somehow to do it. Like, it was me.
Go ahead.
It was me, Brandon, which is White Lightning, a female wrestler who wanted to train, but she never did do nothing after that, and Cadillac Kid, which I don't know if you know Cadillac Kid or not, but he's got a few channels or a few matches on my channel, but he has a shitload of matches on my backyard channel. But it was all of us with my wife just training in the park, just doing random wrestling moves, chops, bunch of shit like that.
Mm-hmm. I bet that's very interesting work in how that turns out.
Yeah, like I said, it was definitely fun. Though. I don't regret none of it. Everybody starts from somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I bet there's we got like a few more minutes. Let's talk. If you have any, I know you have your list, but if you see all the wrestlers nowadays, do you any like you would have a base anyone like the WWE or NXT if you had a chance to? Do you get any? Like dream matches?
Well, I was a Terry Funk guy, so if I could have just got my ass whooped by Terry Funk, I'd have done it. Like, Terry Funk was one of the main reasons I got into wrestling. Between him and Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, those were my idols. So, and to this day, if you say dream match, it would just be me and Terry Funk. I'd go out there and get my ass whooped by him for them 10 minutes, and I'd be happy. And a match that I wish was on my YouTube channel that's not, because I can't find it anywhere, was when me and White Lightning won the tag titles in Carrollton, Georgia. That's the thing that sucks is, I recorded a lot of my matches, but there's a few of them that didn't get recorded, and that's one of them.
That sounds like it probably would have been a good match to find if someone did record it.
Yeah. I thought it was recorded, but I can't find it anywhere. We beat the Dirty Villains, which the booking at that place was kind of weird because like they brought me in as a dirty villain, then I turned my back on the New Religion, and then I like rejoined the New Religion the same night. Like they tried to do like a double turn all in one night, and it got weird as shit. So I definitely don't understand what happened there. It was a weird night, trust me. Like, you know, the crowd like hated me at first, and they tried to bring me back out there and be a good guy, and it didn't work because I already had them hate me. Then my partner ended up getting almost knocked out, and the guy in the back was like, "Do your squats. If you're doing your squats, you wouldn't have got knocked out." That was a good time for real.
I really do love talking to you, Ray. Basically matching you back and forth and talking and seeing these matches you uploaded, and I hopefully will be in person.
Maybe one day there might be a deathmatch show that you can make it to. Well, let's see. What does that say? I've got 4 more minutes. I've got a counter going on what I'm available. but but yeah, definitely. If you want to see more of my matches, come to my YouTube channel. It's John Rare. There's like I think over 200 videos on there currently. Most of them are reviews and reviews of my own matches, but I do put on random matches.
Speaking of, like, I know you, like, read, I want to know, if there's one match particular I think you might enjoy seeing. I know how you like rivalries and feuds. If you want to say my favorite rivalry in my area, it is Lucha Lacora and Suicidal Soldiers rivalry. It is very interesting to watch if you want to ever look them up.
Yeah, I'll look them up. And anytime you want me to like do a review, I do have fans send me videos that they want me to review. That's usually what I do in my what the fuck reviews is my fan reviews. But those are usually fun.
I was thinking the YouTube video, but it's very nice.
Yeah.
Brandon just said, Brandon Mercury. All truth, I did my squats every match, so I want to get knocked out again.
Well, see, what happened is that he took a leg drop. Someone leg dropped him off the top rope. But instead of, hitting him with the leg, I think they landed pretty much on his face. So, it knocked him out. He was fucking hurt. And then when he comes to the back, the guy's like, "You're okay. If you would have been doing your squats, this wouldn't have happened." Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was just laying there. It was one of those weird... And then I ended up having to drive... I drove him home that night. Because he was just fucked up.
I hope that Aaron, hope you have your ice cream, have this nice talk. I'm really happy that you said yes on doing this with me, Rare. I thought you'd probably be busy and all this, so good thing I just was nervous, didn't ask you earlier, stuff like that.
Now, trust me, like, normally I really don't even do these interviews with people because I was supposed to have been on the death... Well, I was supposed to have been on the Death Hour a few months ago, but I think it was the day of, I was supposed to have... On that one, like I asked you, did I have to have an app or something for it? On that one, I had to have an app. And at the time, I had a movie on my phone that we were filming, so I couldn't download nothing because all my data, or not my data, but my storage was full. So I had to back out of the interview at the last minute. And usually I turn down interviews. But when that happened, the fans were talking shit about me backing out of the interview. And I was like, what the fuck, what can I do? I'm not going to delete the damn movie off my phone that I'm working on just to do an interview. That's why I asked you, kind of clear what if I had to download anything or anything.
No. Luckily I came in the safe on that one, huh?
Yeah. Because currently I got another video on my phone. Like we're filming the 10 Mile Cemetery 2 video right now, and it's going to be kick-ass.
I cannot wait to see that. That's going to be a great one to watch.
Yes, it will. All right, 30 seconds. What you got for me?
Alrighty, cheap plug time. Go. Quick cheap plug.
Let's see. Smart Mark Video for all your IWA and LXW apparel. And then the John Rare channel. Just type in John Rare. You'll find over 200 videos of me being awesome and a new religion. And I'm also the new spokesperson for Venom Championship Wrestling.
Thank you, Rare, for having this time fine with me.
Oh, yeah. Enjoyed it, and I'll talk to everybody later.
Thank you, Eric.